Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Education. I'm Dr. John Kopko, Superintendent of the East Brunswick Public Schools, and your host for the program. I'm sure you're going to find this edition of Spotlight enjoyable and also informative, because we're going to be taking a tour of Churchill Junior High School with Principal Robert Janderval. Bob, before we do embark upon the tour, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the honor that Churchill Junior High School received this past spring, being named a National School of Excellence Blue Ribbon School by the United States Office of Education. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and how it all came about?
Sure. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting us here today. This has been an exciting couple of years for Churchill Junior High School. It's almost, in fact, a year to the day that we received our letter from Senator Bill Bradley telling us that we would receive that designation and that we would be honored nationally in May with meetings with the President and some of the other dignitaries in Washington. The process that we entered into with this began in the early fall, late summer of 1994, at which time we entered into completing a 38-page application process. That application would be submitted in November of 1994 to your office. It moved through our Board of Education and eventually to the County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary Jean Gadet. She reviewed applications from the county. Those applications eventually went to the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Leo Klackholz, who reviewed them with a panel from the state of New Jersey. And there were 12 applications from secondary schools in the state of New Jersey that were forwarded down to the U.S. Department of Education for review. The process was delayed because of some concerns about additional requirements that were added to the application. Eventually, those issues were resolved, and during June of '95, we were notified after a national review panel reviewed the applications that we would be receiving a site visit, which was in October of '95. As a result of those site visits, we're back to February 7th when Senator Bill Bradley announced that Churchill, as well as Hammersholt, were one of 9 schools, secondary schools in New Jersey, who were to be designated as National Schools of Excellence. We entered into a period of time where we were real happy and lots of good things went on. And, it was really also a time of reflection, and certainly the highlight of that was in late May of last year when we all went to D.C., visited the White House. We're in the presence of President Clinton, Vice President Gore. We went to the National Awards Ceremony and had a chance to meet lots of people from other states and stand with the Secretary Riley and receive our flag and our plaque, come back to the school and join with members of the community in our day, which was highlighted here on Channel 8. It was really a wonderful and a great time.
Well, now we're going to take a look at some of the programs that made this award possible, and we're also going to take a look at some of the things that you and your staff are doing to make Churchill Junior High School even better.
Right. After completing the process, there's one thing that has consistently stood out in my mind. The process is behind us. We have been designated a School of Excellence, and we really have to work every day to continue to earn that designation. There's so much that goes into this. The clear notion that I walked away with was this was the beginning of something and not the end of something. Our application was recognized because of the academic standards of the school, the safe and supportive environment we provide for our students, elements of participatory leadership, with staff and families, how we interface with the community, excellence in teaching, our very low dropout rates, and the documented achievements of our students. One would be remiss if we didn't, at this point in time, go back and begin to interface more with issues that we deal with, and primarily it's applications of technology to education. Kids have to go out today and they have to be ready and prepared, and they have to have the right attitudes to function both in life and in the workplace and be successful in these areas. We'll be taking a tour of Churchill, and in that tour we will be highlighting a few of the areas where we have made considerable progress. There's still much to be done, but we're off in seemingly the correct direction at this point in time. Today, we're visiting the Churchill Media Center, where Mr. Frank Pileckia's 9th grade English class is conducting biographical research on heroic people. The function of the Media Center is to provide relevant instruction and ample resources so the students are able to be successful in their research endeavors. While in the Media Center, our media specialists review all the appropriate technological resources which will be useful to students in a project. For this project, there are several technological resources which are appropriate. The students may choose Encarta, Grow Your Multimedia Encyclopedia, UXL Biographies, InfoTrack, or SIRS, which is available through our network. The computerized card catalog also helps students find books in the Media Center. There are also many CDs which may be used on single workstations. Beginning January 2nd, the Internet has been available to students at Churchill. By using keyword on the computers, students are learning and using sophisticated research skills and are able to access information quickly and easily. These skills will assist them as they advance through school and will help them in later years for both educational and recreational purposes. In addition to the many electronic resources, we have a wonderful print collection to support any research assignment. Hundreds of biographies, numerous collective biographies are available in the Media Center. The reference collection includes many sets of biographical books which aid students in their research.
For today, the focus will be to take notes on the 2 character traits that you've determined. Now, some people have still not finished up the bibliography cards, so that's what you have to do first. Finish up bibliography cards if you haven't handed them in to me. Then after you're done with that, you're going to start on your note-taking procedure. When you take your notes, please follow style manual format. So that means put that key letter, put the author underneath that letter, and put the focus word, the key word, on your left. Remember, you are taking notes focusing on 2 positive character traits. Don't spend a lot of time on all kinds of other background information that's not going to do you any good for this paper. Okay? Everybody sure about that? Okay? So what I want by the end of the period today, if you haven't given me the bibliography cards, that's what you're going to give me by the end of the period.
Is there anybody who's having a specifically hard time finding information on their person? Because those are the people I want to focus on right away. I want to get you into the research and find you as many resources as we can. So make sure you see me right at the beginning of the period.
Page 27 in your style manual, it says reference or other reference works.
Oh, but this doesn't count as your 1 and 2.
That doesn't count for your general encyclopedia.
Is athletic ability a trait?
And is this helpful for you, this one?
I just skydiving, know. I don't know what it's about exactly.
Okay. Why don't you click in here on Kopko and see?
Okay, here, I'll show you.
The introduction of technology in the mathematics program provides totally different methods of teaching and learning mathematics. In the past, investigation of mathematical topics was impossible because of the time-consuming and cumbersome paper and pencil tasks. The availability of graphing calculators and computer software allows students to explore algebraic concepts before being exposed to them in abstract form. Similarly, in geometry classes, use of the computer allows the student to develop visual models and approach concepts inductively. Such investigations help the students to develop an intuitive understanding of the concepts before encountering the typical deductive proof. Mr. Dan Simon has his geometry class in our media center today to work with a program called Geometers, which is loaded on the network. In today's lab, students will be discovering new theorems related to the concept of similarity, their current topic of study. They have been given information from which they must support the desired conclusion by using diagrams and tables of information. Although they are not proving the theorem, they are providing themselves with a sufficient understanding of what takes place within the concept of the problem. This allows for a smoother transition into the proof skill, which will be completed in a follow-up lesson. The Geometers Sketchpad program allows them to alter their programs, their diagrams, and to keep track of the data as the figures are being transformed. This way, students can look at all possible scenarios within the parameters of the problem.
What I want here is not necessarily a midpoint, but just a point on it, and then create the parallel and the point of intersection. And that way, wherever I move that point, see, because not only did you guys get that the ratios were equal, but you got that they were exactly the same, and that won't always be the case. All right, so maybe just go to a new sketch and try that same thing again, but not specifically the midpoint, any point. Okay? How you doing? So now, again, what you're doing here is you're writing a statement. What we want to do is verify it in our table. Okay, so let's go into calculate and actually calculate the ratio. Slide it over, good job. Okay, so let's take the first ratio. All right, actually we're missing a couple, aren't we? We're missing a couple of measurements. Right? So we want to get...
You know what? Instead of writing, I'm just saying.
And we have that one.
I like that.
Right, and you know why you didn't know that? Yeah, but why didn't you know that? Why don't we slap the label on? There we go. Good. Okay, now we know exactly what we have and what we need.
Just the caps and the blanks.
Have it. Have it. Don't need it. Good. Okay.
Our next visit is to Miss Joanne Summers' algebra class. This is an 8th grade Algebra 1 section, and the students are being familiarized with using the graphing calculator. In this assignment, they will first graph 2 equations. The display will show that these graphs intersect at a point. The students can then have the calculator focus on that point and determine the actual values which will work in both equations. As a result, the student will have a concrete experience and a mental image of the meaning of solving a system of equations.
Looking at this graph, can you, from the graph, read what you believe is the point of intersection? What do you have, Mike? Rachel?
3-2.
Okay, the ordered pair of 3, 2. All right, from our graph, now we don't, this isn't a perfect graph. You can see our lines are a little crooked. We don't have all the bars that you usually find on graph paper, but looking at it, 3, 2, seems like that should be the point of intersection. Why don't we check it? What we'll do is we'll check it algebraically. On your paper, substitute in 3, 2, the ordered pair in each equation, and see if it satisfies both equations. Sheila?
Yeah.
Yeah, work? Good. Everybody agree that this is the point of intersection, it satisfies both equations. All right. So you can see it saves a lot of time. And we were very lucky with this pair of equations because when they intersected, we were able to find, just by looking at the graph, the point of intersection. As luck would have it, they were integers, which was our guess. Let's take a look at another pair that might be a little more...
Mrs. Cheng joined the Churchill staff this summer after varied experiences in New Jersey and up in New England. In today's class, Ruth will be rotating students among centers in the classroom. While they study issues concerning government of a new nation, the students will be aware of their plan of action. Some centers will integrate various tools of technology, and others will require critical thinking. While focusing on the issues related to the government of the new nation, the students will also think and monitor their plan of action as they rotate. In this class, the students are weaving the life skills of technology, critical thinking, and thinking about thinking with the required curriculum.
We're doing a timeline from 1763 to 1800.
And some of the information that you're including inside?
Proclamation.
Okay.
Declaration of Independence.
All right.
Proclamation of 1763.
Okay. How about you boys? What are you including?
Stamp Act.
Okay.
The Boston Tea Party.
Good. Okay. The United States and France there's a threat of war here. What can the two countries do to try to prevent the outbreak of war? The Frenchers. Okay, compromise, right?
Yeah. They can make proposals for like both sides what they want and then try to come to an agreement on them.
Okay. And so what project are you working on right now?
Coming up with a play. Yeah, we're making a play about when the Americans and the French people met to try to make an agreement so they wouldn't have a war.
Okay. Good. Great. Thanks. Good luck on your play.
Okay, thank you.
Quick on it. Now try it. Now try it. See what it looks like. Okay? That's what it will look like.
Put it on medium.
Try it. Try it. Okay. Well, now that's what will happen. Okay. Click done. Click done. Okay. Now click on next. And that's what you asked it to do. Okay?
Our next visit today will be to Angela Schlegel's English class. Angela just joined our staff from the great state of Kansas. Today, Angela is teaching her students how to support a thesis statement. She has chosen to have her students work in cooperative learning groups, allowing them to discuss with each other possible supporting details to validate a thesis statement. Her students have just completed a 2-month study of Mark Twain's classic novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Additionally, students watched the movie, Tom and Huck, which is a Walt Disney reproduction of the novel. During the viewing, students were to take notes on any similarity or difference they noticed. It is from these notes that they are finding their supporting details. Today, once the students feel comfortable with the supporting detail decided upon, they have the option of designing a creative way to present the supporting details to the class.
3 examples as to how that was shown. Okay,
He died differently. Injun Joe died differently.
Great, okay.
That's what I put.
Right, exactly. You would write Injun Joe died differently. And then can you two help her come up with other examples where subplot changes helped add suspense?
Yeah, when Injun Joe was going after Tom, the way they did like the shadows in the window when he was dreaming.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, and also the graveyard scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Injun Joe actually saw Tom and Huck, and Tom lost his marble, which he did in the book.
Okay, good, good.
So, like, okay.
Did Becky use dialect in the book?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Because she didn't really use it in the movie, neither did her father.
Right, exactly.
Were they not supposed to, because they were from somewhere else?
No, not really. Why do you think Disney chose not to put the dialect in the movie?
So 90s people can understand it.
Exactly. So when you guys go see the movie, you're going to know what they're talking about. Because the dialect is very difficult to understand, especially if someone younger than you goes in to see the movie. They're really not going to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So was your thesis saying that, what was your thesis saying about dialect?
Disney's Tom and Huck is not a good representation of the adventures of Tom Sawyer because it does not use dialect appropriately to give the full effect of the setting.
Okay, good. What other examples besides Becky and her father did you show of dialect?
Aunt Polly.
Aunt Polly, okay.
She didn't use her dialect in the movie. She used more of a 90s accent and Southern.
Good, okay. 90s accent, Southern kind of accent instead of the words that she used in the, okay.
And Tom, he did a really good job with his dialect at the beginning, but towards the end it was just fading away.
Disney's movie Tom and Huck does a good job of adding suspense to the novel of Tom Sawyer by including surprising effects to the graveyard, trial, and treasure hunt scenes.
Good.
And we're gonna I want to do like a drama scene, like or like before, this is how it happened in the book.
Okay.
Like Indian Joe falling, and he really died.
Here is Mr. Amy's drawing and painting class. Students are working freely on projects based on Mies van der Rohe's less is more theory. For this assignment, students were introduced to line as the primary means of visual communication, and its uses as a tool to portray shape and form. In this case, exploring objects to see more in depth the actual makeup of a given subject.
Now, if you're going with this, from here you're just going to begin to take this piece, tear it, however you want to tear it. You could tear it intricately or you could just tear it straight off. Okay? And remember, whichever way you tear, if you tear this way, that's going to leave the deckled edge on this side. Okay? So then when you tear off a piece, you'll know that it'll go exactly in that spot. Okay? So if I tore off this section coming all the way down, I'll know that it goes from here across. Okay? I'm sorry?
Oh my god, that's so good. That's really good.
In this science class, taught by Connie Orban, our students are working on the GLOBE project. They collect data about the weather and the environment and send it by way of the internet to NASA for evaluation. In turn, NASA has provided our school with a computer, printer, modem, and online time. Involvement in this program has been beneficial to the students as they study meteorology and geology. It has given them experience recording data on the computer and realizing that data collection is useful. It has also given them a chance to share their data and the experiences with students all over the world through the GLOBE program mail system. Most importantly, all students have become more experienced in the use of computers for data records and research. The use of technology nicely complements the 8th grade computer-generated AccuWeather program used for making daily weather predictions in the classroom.
Thanks so very much for being here today, Bob, and for providing our audience with such a comprehensive tour of Churchill Junior High School. And, once again, I'd like to congratulate you and congratulate the entire Churchill Junior High School community, the faculty, the staff, the students, and certainly the parents. And again, to mention your leadership in this whole process, because without that, that wouldn't have been possible. So congratulations on behalf of everyone associated with East Brunswick Township. To our audience, I'd like to thank you for watching and hope you'll be back with us again next month. We'll be taking a tour of another Blue Ribbon school, Hammersholt Middle School, with our principal, Dr. Joanne Susko.